How's it going, fellas, ladies, gents? Well, after my last revelation, as far as big pharma and the prison system and having you in a controlled environment, um, I started thinking about all this COVID stuff that's going on and how they want you to take um, shots now. And me personally, I've never taken a flu shot in my life. Um, Before I seek medical attention in prison, I had only, which was um, about 2013, or 14, 13, I believe. I had only got sick twice in my life. Once as a child, and once a short time after uh, I entered the LA County jail. And that time was really bad. I had never been so sick in my life. Uh, I was coughing up blood, and I was bedridden for like 2 or 3 days. Everybody was worried. I couldn't stop coughing, and but I just never liked medicine. I never liked, um, I just never liked substances that I didn't know what they contained. I don't like that in my body. I grew up eating vegetables and chicken for the most part. Um, Chicken being the poor man's diet, and but shit, I love me some chicken and vegetables because I just love vegetables. So I chose not to ask for help, and I was sick. I thought I was gonna die. To be honest, I had never been so sick in my life, and just so happens I was in the system when this happened. Like I said, I don't believe in coincidences, but so back to this COVID thing where you know they're talking about requiring your students, your kids, to take these shots. What kind of shots are they? You know, um, what kind of studies have been done on these? And if so, you know, even if there's studies done on it, in reality, it's only the information that they're releasing to the public and to let you know, um, uh, to appease you, to make you feel like you know what's going on. But the reality is, um, you don't know what's going on. Uh, and I'll get into that a little bit more. But so controlled, in controlled environment. So a school could be a controlled environment. They give you, shoot you up with medication or you know, inoculation shots, whatever they want to call them. I call it poison. And and now they could track you. They have you, and they could see you, and they could take note of you. They know where you are at all times. And what made me think about that was my social security number. I'm applying for social security, and it's almost like it's a prison number. um, I could use it when they say I can use it. If they don't want me to use it, I can't use it. But when I do use it, they know where I'm at all times. And the same could be said for prisons, schools, even the military. Who's sending their children to the military? It's the poor and the middle class uh, families that are going, are entering these institutions. It's institution. That word can be used across the board. It's usually used for prisons, but an institution, school, institution, military divisions. Now, you know, second to that is healthcare. You know, um, we're forced to use a system of healthcare. For instance, insurance. Um, Now, if we're first forced to go through the system of insurance, um, to pay somebody uh, money to get medical attention that we consider, you know, at a higher standard. But that's just another way of controlling where and who gets what kind of attention and at what level. Rich people, I'm pretty sure they're not using insurance. They're going straight to a doctor that's going to do, that's high up there, and that's probably not going to be using these medications that these companies that are lower level, once again, the working class people are are using. And so if it's a system where you're forced into um, using taking their hand, but when you're taking their hand, they're trying to chop off your foot and you don't know it. Um, it seems like they're helping you, but if I was gonna harm you, I'm not gonna pass you a vial. I'm gonna pass you a cookie with the poison inside of it. And um, it might be kind of hard for some of you guys to understand, or maybe you don't want to believe it. People like me are ousted from society, and people that speak like the things that I speak, they're said to be crazy. But if I was crazy, why would they try to make it up? If I was violent, why would they try to make up that I was violent? To lock me up. You have to understand these things. And there's many people that believe these same facts that I've spoken, but they're afraid to speak up. And so, continuing on with this, what the system has done is it's put pressure on society, on the working and lower classes and working classes, to live check to check. They play with the economy and have us worrying about making enough money to get to the next day. And if you do have extra money, they talk you into getting into debt with them. Buying nice cars, getting into the popularity um, game where you want to have nice things, but then you have more money, but you don't because you're in debt again. And they're doing this to blind you to what's really going on. Um, See, myself, I was in prison and placed in jail as a punishment. Um, I was given much more time than I needed to be given. Uh, they thought that um, their weapon was to enclose me in a cell and keep me away from speaking and uniting and speaking unity and passing on the good word. And the good word, the good word is in the Bible, but the good word is in your deeds and what you do, how you treat people, and giving each other helping hands. But what I'm saying is that they locked me up believing that was gonna keep me from spreading goodwill and from speaking the truth. But what they didn't realize is uh, they assisted me in expanding my mind as I lived a life which was much slower down for many people that lived in everyday society. I had the opportunity, since I wasn't fighting to make a dollar, I was just living, and while I was living, I was paying attention to what was going on around me, um, and it gave me the opportunity to see things at a slower pace and learn what was going on. While most of us, most free people are living frantic lives, worried about living check to check and about who has the nicest things, and it's all right to have good quality things. Don't get me wrong, but if you get caught up in that and you don't realize what's going on around you, you don't realize what's getting put in our food. Um, you know, you don't realize that, uh, as time goes on, the average Americans body has changed. Why is that? The climate has changed, but very slightly. We're built um, on our surroundings, and you see, I know you noticed that, people's bodies have changed in the last, 20, 30 years. That's a short time for evolution. And so you got to wonder what's happening. You know, what's happening is what's getting put in your food, pesticides, stuff like that. You guys got to pay attention to these things, because um, the people who are the ones saying that, they're checking the quality and making sure it's safe, are the same people that are getting their hands greased with money. And it's much more convenient to say no, that's okay, and let thousands of people die before somebody raises their voice. And even then, if you raise your voice, there's people in certain places that, they could get away with committing criminal acts, because they're so their money is so deep into the system that's going around them, the state, the city, that nobody wants to get rid of them. They might get slapped with a fine or something, but the rich are gonna stay rich because they're paying each other to stay rich. They're passing the money back and forth, while most of us are struggling to live, uh, uh, you know, a comfortable life, by having to fight check to check. Um, the economy, fluctuates up and down. Why is that? Who's controlling that? Where's all our money going? There's people working. There's hard people out there working. Where's the money going? It's going into a pot, and they're sharing the pot, and they're keeping it all to themselves. And that's partly our fault for not opening our eyes, and and speaking up. Speaking up, and helping each other when adversity arises. Uh, if 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 we don't do it together, we won't do it never. Remember that.